How to be mentally strong. This is one of the important thing we all seek for, because we talk about physical health, but when we are mentally strong, then we can have a physical health also. And the mental energy is required to execute big things, to do any kind of task. So today we are going to discuss how to build that mental strength and how to be mentally very strong. Today we have Gordana ma'am with us. And Gordana ma'am, I would like to tell you that we are doing this session from past 2 years, and we are doing this session daily. And there is a purpose behind it, that whosoever watches this session, they should have a smile on their face. Their life should become a celebration. And they should also contribute in creating a stress-free and a violence-free society. And this is Gurudev's vision. We have made Gurudev's vision our mission, and we are with full force moving towards it. And these sessions that we do, it's like most of the people watching this session are art of living devotees. For that reason, these sessions are very candid, very informal, very free flowing sessions. And many of the people watching this on YouTube right now have heard about you. And I would just quickly like to introduce you to the group who are watching this session. So, talking about her, uh, she is Shri Shri School of Yoga Europe managing director. She is teacher of MWB meditation and breath workshop and Yes Plus. Shri Shri Yoga level 1, Shri Shri Yoga level 2, and 200 hour of teacher training also she have done. She is in Art of Living since 2005. She is a full-time teacher since 2013. She has worked for World Forum of Ethics in Business and Sports and for TTC Desk Europe. Lived in German ashram for 5 years, Bangalore for 1 year. She lives in Croatia in seaside. She studied French but have worked most of her life in IT, marketing and event management. So, Gordana ma'am, welcome to the session. My first question to you is, when any tough situation comes, people face mental breakdown. Instead of uh, passing through it very strongly, they think that, okay, there's nothing left. Why have God given me so much trouble? What to do? So, how to build that strength? How to be mentally strong? Yes, over to you. Please unmute.
Yes, thank you, Abhishek. Thank you for the beautiful introduction, and totally commendable how you are doing and what you're doing every single day. I'm really impressed that every single day you're having a knowledge talk and inviting so many participants. Really beautiful. Yes, to keep the knowledge alive and the inner strength alive. No, when we hear from different people similar things, then somehow it's easier to understand. Now you're talking about mental breakdown, and of course our mental abilities or the strength of our mental abilities, and then what happens when people are faced with a lot of problems. So the first thing that I would like to say is that somehow people generally or society in general, and as what I've seen and also what is present in Croatia, is people come together to talk about their problems. People come together to talk about their issues, isn't it? Like a family comes and then they tell you what has happened this in the past week, but mostly they're talking about the issues that they faced. So somehow this becomes like the main topic. And if someone is saying that they've had some success or some amazing encounter, there's always this fear that there will be a little jealousy. Or if I'm telling only that, in the middle of pandemic and war in Europe and all these problems, if I'm saying that I'm having a good time, what are the other people going to say? They're going to say how you're having a good time when there's all this disaster happening. So also there's a little fear of sharing good things, because what will other people think if I'm sharing that I'm happy all the time, I'm happy with how much money I'm getting, I'm happy with my family? How is it possible this person, are they even alive? What is happening? So that is one thing really that this is a habit, a societal habit, that we usually talk about our problems, our issues, about all the things that went wrong, and we avoid talking about the good things. So what happens that our mind gets really into that, how to say, running around in circles with repeating our problems to other people, and then kind of like making them even more powerful in our lives. We are determining what our problems are, and then we are constantly confirming to each and every person that comes in front of us. We are confirming again and again, though, this is my problem. I'm not having enough money, or I'm not having a good relationship. I'm not having good health. And that it starts becoming reality. We start believing that this is the reality. Well, the reality is half-half, somewhere half-half, of course. So there are some 50% things that happen, good things, pleasant things, lovely things, some money comes in, family issues are resolved. And then the other half of the time, we have issues or problems or with these things. But then it depends what we choose to look into, really. Like, it depends if we are going to choose to look into all the bad things. And then also what happens, we are influenced, we are watching all the bad news on social media. We are scrolling and looking at all the things. And then all the time we are being bombarded by negativity. So all the time, what else can you do? Totally obsessing about all the things that you're seeing on television and everything that the other people are telling you about. So I would say one thing is really that we should start sharing the good things, sharing our realizations or something nice that happened to us or something nice that we saw. Like so many times during the day, you see some good things happening. You see someone helped someone go somewhere, someone gave their car space, or driving somewhere, someone allowed someone else to park. All these nice things, and these things we could share. Oh, today I saw someone doing a good deed or something like that. And then instead of being in the habit of negativity, go into the habit of being positive. And even if we don't feel like that, there's something Gurudev says so beautifully. He says, fake it till you make it. So even if there are not any positive things, you can invent, you can think, oh, now in the world, there must be so many people are doing good things in this moment. So what we put our attention on, that is also going to manifest in our life. So that is the first thing. We need to be careful what we are feeding our mind and what we are allowing or confirming. We keep confirming that, oh, this is my problem and this is the world's problem and this is a problem. And where you will end up after all this. And then our mental strength is also like a muscle. This is why I'm saying so. It's when we are talking about abhyasa in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, abhyasa and vairagya, Gurudev says that abhyasa is not only practice. I'm sitting and I'm doing my 3-stage pranayam, Bhastrika Kriya Vidya. Yes, that is practice, definitely, spiritual practice. But another kind of practice is that we train our mind to be happy. And that is another part of practice. And as spiritual seekers, for us, it's easy to understand, okay, I'm going to sit every morning, I'm doing my pranayams, I'm doing my Bhastrika, my Kriya, meditating twice a day. But still, I'm also doing seva, I'm listening to some knowledge, but still there is some negativity in the mind. So this is another practice throughout the day to catch our mind when we get into negative thoughts. And it's almost like, as I said, our mental strength is like a muscle. If we don't train it, then it's not going to be strong. Then we're going to get pushed around by this, by that, but all the negativity that people are saying. So it's really, it's not like a one-time off thing. It's like something that we need to practice. And then also we need to, like, for example, we are talking about physical exercise. I like to walk. So if I go I go a little bit uphill, and my friends cannot go uphill because they're not very, very strong. Then I take them to make a round around the house, then around the park, then a little longer, until eventually they will be able to go up that hill with me, so we can have a good time. But if I push them to come up the hill on the first day, they're going to give up. They're going to say that, what is she doing? She's forcing too much, or I cannot, I don't want to spend. So even this positivity and keeping that mental health, the strength of our mental abilities, we start training little by little, and we also help other people come into it little by little. When my family comes for a birthday party, then they will tell me all the issues that they had, all the problems that happened in that month, all the little things that they faced. I was driving, and then another driver was not so polite. So I will listen to them for a while, and then I will say some good things. Like recently, my family, my sister and husband, they had some issue with the lady. They were doing a project together, and this lady was really like making a mess. So what happened is that this lady gave up on the project. She decided to drop the project, so they're not doing it anymore. So they were saying, oh, it was difficult, and we had these problems with this lady. So I said, wow, but look, she now canceled the project. Isn't that a blessing? Because if she didn't cancel, so the project is canceled. But if she didn't cancel the project, for another 6 months, you would have to be dealing with this lady. So to turn things around and to see the positive in the problem, to find something good in it, so that you can feel better. Simply that. Of course, if people are doing wrong things, if they are not behaving nicely, it's perfectly normal if we pass judgment. We say, okay, this person is not behaving nicely. But at the same time, not to get too much stuck with it. They're not behaving nice, but I'm not spending any time with them, so at least my mind is saved. Yeah.
Gurdana ma'am, our mind always looks for peace and comfort. And Gurudev, sometimes people misinterpret it. Like Gurudev says, at any cost, save your mind. So when we are waking up early or something, that tough job we are doing, we always think that first I need to gain energy, first I need to make myself ready, then I will start doing it. So in that chase, we quit that thing. Like waking up in the morning, we always feel like, no, I have not slept well. So maybe I will start the next day. Something happened. Okay, this thing is there. That's why I'm not doing this thing. See, we always look for that comfort to quit that thing, how to deal with it.
Yes, well, for that you need to have a little bit of courage. And then it's also, if someone pushes you into something, then you don't have any choice. You then have to push yourself. So the thing is that our comfort zone is like, it's a comfortable place, right? But after some time, even like being in the same place, in the same space all the time, it becomes kind of boring, or you become a little bit restless, or life is pushing you a little bit out of that comfort zone, but you're resisting. You want to stay in your sitting in your nice couch and kind of relaxing there. But life is a little bit different. So even if you don't want to come out of your comfort zone anyway, life will push you in outside. Something or other will happen, because there are challenges every single day. But if you pose challenges for yourself, then when life surprises you with some challenge, you are already used to having challenges. So it's going to be easier to pick up on it. So we're saying, but what also happens when we come out of our comfort zone, again, we are coming back to that, it's almost like training. Instead of sitting in your house and, praying to God that nothing happens in your life that is going to disturb you, rather come out of the house and become a little bit more stronger facing the challenges in everyday life. And then when some big challenge comes, you would have already passed through so many challenges, then this will be just another one, the next one. Also, if we have, for example, like some 10 things that we have to do, then we are doing one thing, then you jump to another, then you come back to the first one. Then one day you're free from 3, but the next day you have the other 6 or something like that. So it keeps shifting all the time. And then there are some small challenges here and there to manage, to do something, to invest a little bit of time. But if you have only one thing, one challenge, one thing that you are doing, then that becomes your whole day, your whole mental space is in that one thing. So then when just the second thing comes, already you are overwhelmed. It's too much. If the third and the fourth thing comes, you're having a mental breakdown. You cannot handle, it's too much. But if you already, as I said, but not immediately, like if you are now handling one thing, you shouldn't jump to handling 10 things. Do things little by little, you know? We always think, but this is the tendency of the mind. We want to do great things instantly. So for example, today you are handling some business project or a private project of, I don't know, 500 crore rupees. And then, but tomorrow you want to jump into 10 crore rupees business or project. So this is really, it's really scary. I mean, come on, we are afraid of change, isn't it? I don't want to land on a project that is 10 times bigger than my current project tomorrow. And that is why also in jobs, we don't come from cleaning lady to boss in one day. Like little bit, you are first working in the project, then slowly you start managing parts of the project, then you start managing the entirety of the project, then you see, okay, this project is managed, maybe I can manage another project. So we need to take step by step. We have this kind of idea that we need to do big things all of a sudden, and then that is success. That is miracle, and that will happen on its own. But for you to be able to grow, to move, and to come out of your comfort zone, really step by step, there is no hurry. And then one other thing is that if the success is not huge, if it's not like some big thing, then we also don't feel it's been so successful. Like, for example, you've had a course with 5 people, you've taught a course or assisted a course of 5 people, and then, but you are, you know, aiming at having 50 people on the course. You want to have 50. So even if next course you get 20 people, you were aiming for 50, you feel unhappy with it. You're like, I'm only having 20 people, but I wanted to have 50. But actually you're having 3 times more than you did last time. You had 5 and now you have 20. Because we are setting some really super high goals. We should set, Sankalpa is different and goal is different. So if the Sankalpa is 50, but you manage 20, that means next time you can have a higher Sankalpa, and then the result might be a little bit smaller. And what I also realized is, whatever we want to do, if we are doing it in a group, we did this a few times, like mathematic equation. So we made a Sankalpa, for example, what was it? We had a yoga festival. We were wanting to have, how much was it? At the beginning, we started only saying 2,000 people. Okay, then 5,000 people. Then we thought, oh, 5,000 is a lot. How we are going to do 5,000? And then in the end, in the festival, we had 10,000 people. But what happened is that we were asking how many people, all the team members kind of imagined or thought how many it will be. And it's just the middle of that. Some people are thinking 20,000 we can have easily, and one person thinks 2,000 or 5,000. And then the Sankalpa of the group, it becomes somewhere the middle of all the numbers that people thought of. And we tested this a couple of times. Also, once I went into a shop to buy some materials. We were preparing the stage for also for a yoga jam, for an event. So I had in mind that we will spend 80 euros. And the girl that went with me, she had in mind that she will spend 120 euros. So this was and later we spoke about it, not before. So we went into the shop and we managed to get a good price of 100 euros. to buy that material that we can put it on the stage. And after that, we went out of the shop and I asked her, so what did you think? She said, I thought 120. I said, I wanted to pay 80. So we paid immediately, like the exact middle of that, in between. So you have to, sorry, I have an alarm clock. I wanted to test if it's working, so it's. So also we have to see like that we are in a good company, if we want to come out of the comfort zone, that we have someone or some people who are supporting us, not bringing us down. And if we cannot manage ourselves, it's really no shame to ask for help. Like if I realize that it's difficult for me to guide a group or something like that, and I cannot, and it's too much, and I'm feeling exhausted, it's totally okay to also invite other people to help us. It's not that we always have to do everything and we have to do everything on our own. And that is, then we are successful individuals. But successful individuals or also mentally strong or coming out of the comfort zone is also that we know how to ask for something that we need. That is perfectly fine.
You very rightly said that when we are having a goal in life, we are having a sankalpa, it automatically brings some energy. And if many people are there, then the energy gets more enhanced.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Gordana, ma'am, I want to ask you, you are having a very nice job in IT field. What brought you in art of living?
Okay.
I mean, how you came in this path and how you became a full-time teacher then?
Yes, I was thinking about this just the other day. I had a little bit of kind of reminiscence of how the path came. I was a student at the time when I started Art of Living. So I was, I think I was just turning 22 or just turned 22, something like that. So I was still studying and I wasn't looking for anything spiritual. My father was interested in alternative medicine and things like that. We were already vegetarians when I was a teenager. We were eating vegetarian, but at that time it was very unusual. Even vegan, sometimes we were not eating even cheese or sugar. Or at that time was very, very strange. It was not normal in society. I was going to school carrying carrots, not sandwiches. So some carrots, some raw vegetables, some things like that, or cooked food. Like I would get a Tupperware, a plastic bowl filled with some, soup or something, not sandwiches. So that at that time it was quite unusual. But somehow, because we were doing like this at home, I didn't realize I thought it's kind of normal. And then I got invited by a friend to do this program for youth. At the time, actually, it was a Breathe Smart program that was being financed by the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health was providing quite a lot of money for addiction prevention with youth. And then I met a friend. It was actually in a nightclub around 11 or 12 in the night. And we were dancing to some music. And he came close and he told me in my ear, he said, there's a course for young people. And it's funded by the government, by the Ministry of Health. You should do it. And, I had no idea what he was sending me. I didn't know exactly what it was, or I didn't know that we are going to be learning yoga or breathing or meditation, nothing like that. I just felt some kind of pull, to come. He told me to bring a yoga mat. So I came with the yoga mat and was just standing there in front. No idea what is going to happen on this course. So I was very, very innocent with no expectation at all what is going to happen and how this is going to be. But the moment, the course started, something really, I was not like often in most of my group of younger people, they were somehow resistant to any process or anything that we were doing. So they weren't really sure. They didn't really want to get exposed, when some process they have to speak in front of people or something like that. But for me, it was somehow very natural. I was so amazed by every single thing in the course. And anytime that someone said, okay, we need a volunteer, I would jump, not even knowing like what I'm getting into. So I think there must have been some really special moment or something special that really brought me to the course. I remember also when I saw Gurudev's picture the first time, and that at that time there were not like these very European modern pictures. It is like this beautiful picture where he's still dressed in orange and has a big mala and flowers around his neck. So he's standing with this long black hair and a beard. And I remember the first time that I saw his picture, I couldn't really understand even which culture he's coming from. I didn't even think, about what race or what country he's from. But I just felt so grateful that I was doing this program and that he was the person behind it. And at that time, I was not interested in any spirituality or nothing like that, but something really touched me on that course. And since then, I just started volunteering for the organization. I thought it was like the kind of like a highest honor if you are asked to be a volunteer, like I didn't even want to like put my name. I was somehow waiting, okay, maybe someone is going to invite me, maybe I can volunteer. So I felt it was a great honor to start, yes. And this was all the way 2005. Now, yes, 17 years ago. So that was the beginning of the journey. I did my teacher training as a part of a Yes We Can program. So it was like a 3-month, very intense program also for young people. And the first course that I was teaching was Yes Plus. Now some places in the world it's called Sky Campus or Sky Happiness, something like that. At that time was Yes Plus. So this was really my passion. I wanted to teach young people, and this was something that I could really easily understand and easily connect to the people. And what was it? I met Gurudev. That was the second time I was meeting him. The first time I met him in my area, close by. It was very beautiful. Actually, I was looking at him. He was walking in the hall, and you know how he has the dhoti and the long robes. So I wasn't sure if his feet were touching the floor. I was not 100%. I was thinking he's kind of like gliding or going a little bit above the floor. I wasn't sure. I was very impressed. It was really like a sort of a dream. And the second time I met him, I became a teacher very recently, just maybe 6 months being a teacher. And the only thing that I felt in my heart is I wanted to be full-time doing this in Art of Living. I don't want to spend my time on anything else in the world, anything material. I just didn't feel like at all. I was just thinking, okay, I want to day and night and 100%. I just want to be doing this. This is my desire. At that time, I was still studying. So he was walking in the darshan line. And I asked him just directly. I didn't even say hello or pranam or anything. I was very excited. I didn't even say hello or didn't even greet him properly. I just stood in front. He turned to me and I said, "Should I be a full-time teacher?" And I was expecting for him to say, "No, you have to do something before." That I was quite young at that time. But he said, he actually gave me an Indian yes. Like that, he nodded his head left and right, but I didn't really understand that was a yes, because before that time I've never been to India or I've never seen, because in European it is the head goes up and down. So he gave me a little nod to the side. I wasn't sure what he's telling me, so I was like, I was surprised. I was saying, are you telling me yes? So he said, yes, with a very, very big smile on his face. I was very taken aback because somehow I didn't think that he would say yes to become a full-time teacher. Somehow I expected him to give me some instruction, like maybe I have to do something or meditate more or do something more to become a full-time teacher. So at that time, I just went traveling wherever I could, and I was just teaching. I was very young, very inexperienced, so I did a lot of mistakes and all sorts of things. Didn't get along with team members, and because I was so too enthusiastic, then I didn't listen to anyone. You know, like a young rebel teacher. I couldn't really cooperate much with other people because I had my own idea and I was very strong. I wanted to go ahead and do things. But luckily that I'm in Art of Living for so long that after a time I learned also how to cooperate with teams and people, and it became a strength rather than an impediment. I was in India in Bangalore ashram for 1 year. And that also I wasn't planning, but somehow it just happened. I was planning to go for 3 months and then stayed 6 months and then again another 6 months. So I was working for the Sumeru Software Solutions at that time. It was very interesting. So it was at the same time I was staying in ashram, but at the same time I had like a proper job. I had to go to the job. At that time, it was 2013. Sumeru Software Solutions had an office next to the Ayurveda hospital in Bangalore, up on the hill. So I had to take some ride or go on foot and actually go to work every day. So this was also like and then I understood that art of living or full-time art of living doesn't just mean, teaching courses, sitting in bliss, but it also means a lot of organization and event management and working with people and knowing how to organize courses and events in order for people to actually come. Not that I'm just, happily going to sit and people will come and I will teach them. But yes, that was a reality check, to know that that the regular life is still continuing, even if I am a full-time art of living teacher. Yes.
It's said that when you do the work of master, the master does your work. And we have seen many things that only happens in art of living, that people call it guru stories. Any guru story that have made you more convicted in this path you'd like to share?
Yes, there is actually one guru story. This was when I was, what age? Maybe some 10, 12 years ago, something like that. So at the time, I was living as a student. I was, again, like on quite a low budget. And I was working half-time also for an IT company, and half-time I was also studying. So at that time, this was actually 10 years ago, 2012. And then I understood that Banu Didi, Gurudev's sister, she's coming to Europe and she will teach the Guru Puja course. So at that time, the fees for the course was really a lot for me. It was like almost my monthly paycheck. And then also I was living on this very low budget kind of student with a student attitude. I was eating very cheap and, all these things. So this course, I really felt I had to do it. Somehow I felt I have to be there. But, financially, I really had no idea how I'm going to make it. So what happened, I got some money for the course. That was like my month fees that I was getting paid for. It was the beginning of the month. And I took this money and I paid for the course. And that was everything I had. I didn't have any more money, not to eat that month, not to travel, not for anything else. So I said, okay, now at least I paid for the course, then everything else, let's see. Because, I didn't have any how to say, normal intellectual idea of how I'm going to manage that whole month, or how I'm going to get to Germany, to the ashram, in order to do this course. But I just went for it, you know. I just took the last money, the only money that I had in life, and just invested for the course. And then what happened, someone was driving. So in the meantime, I think someone came up. This part of the story I don't remember exactly, but I think someone came and they told me they owed me some money, and they gave me some money. So I had money to go at least in one direction. So then I went, okay, at least I can get there. How I will come back, I have no idea. And we came to Germany, and on the way back, I was also looking for travel arrangements. And I had asked this one person if I could travel with them back home, but if I could pay them later, you know, like if I can, if it is possible for them to pay for me now, and then I will return it later. So what happened, of course, the beautiful 3 days of learning Guru Puja chanting with Banu Didi, and a Pandit was also there at the time, was really miraculous. I cannot even explain. This was maybe the most beautiful course I've ever done in my life. To learn chanting, to understand a little bit of Sanskrit was really so beautiful. And when we were driving home, I was speaking to the driver. We were just chatting, and I didn't share anything that, oh, I don't have anything to eat when I come home, or no money till the rest of the month. I didn't share anything. And then in the middle of the drive on the way back, because it's a 10, 12-hour drive, he just said, no, why don't you keep the money? You don't have to pay for the trip, and you consider it as a gift from me, because anyway, I wanted to invest some money to do something good. So I believe that it's okay. You please don't pay for the trip. It's fine. You can just ride along with me. And for me, it's okay. Money is not a problem. So then already I was not owing anything. So I didn't owe any money. And when I came back home, I was living in a house. I was living in a house with the owners of the house were living upstairs, and I was living downstairs. So just the next day, breakfast time, and I have no money and nothing to eat. The lady of the house, my housekeeper, she comes to the door, and she knocks on my door, and she invites me to come to have coffee or tea in their apartment. And I come there, and she's serving me pancakes now. I'm already eating pancakes and drinking some tea. And she says, I know that you know English quite well. And I was thinking, I have 2 kids, and I want really that they start learning English, even if one of them is not in school yet. So would you like to tutor my kids? So immediately I got an extra job, and I was able to tutor them. And also every time I would come to spend time with them, they would feed me. They would, give me some lunch or something they had there, make me some tea. So it was really knowing that if you invest some money, or even, I'm not saying that this is how to say, to go and take all the money and spend it on courses. But at the same time, when you feel something is right, then don't be scared to do it. Don't be scared to go for it, because the divine really is taking care of us. Really, no problem at all. And we cannot, our little brain, cannot understand how this divine nature is functioning, because our brain is very limited. We are thinking, if I have 10 rupees, then I can pay for the ride. And if I don't, I cannot. But we don't know if someone is just going to come and take us in the car, or give us some food, or we cannot even. And what is the craziest thing is that also, even when people are offering to do something for us, we are saying, no, thank you. We are telling no. But actually, it's not even the person. It's some divinity behind this offering is coming and giving you something. So when people are offering anything, we should say yes and thank you, and really be grateful to be able to give opportunity to that people to give us something. or that is the divine is gifting us. So we should really be able also to accept those gifts and that present. Yeah.
Really amazing, amazing. These sort of things only happens in art of living. If you give one step ahead, then 99 steps will be given by Guruji. And you are the chosen one in the path. That's why you are privileged to get all those things which you never expected that it will happen to you. It's really a miracle happened to you, and really you are blessed. That's why you got everything without asking only. So amazing story. So you have completed that Guru Puja phase 1, phase 2, both the courses, or only one you did?
No, just this Guru Puja phase 1. And since then, I'm also a yoga TTP teacher. So every time there is a graduation of the students, then mostly I am chanting the Guru Puja. And it's really beautiful. I've not managed to do phase 2. Somehow it didn't happen. But now also the phase 2 is happening also online. Also, it's possible to do it online. So I think probably I will do it in the next year. If I make a strong sankalpa to finish, then yes. But even in these last 10 years, I have been given so many opportunities to chant Guru Puja. You cannot imagine how many times that someone would ask, or somewhere it was needed, or someone forgot some lyrics. Then I continue. It's yes, it's absolutely beautiful.
I just have one word for you. That's you are a very courageous person, because it requires a lot of devotion to be in his path. Because this kind of like, okay, I am there for you, and Gurudev, you take care. This conviction we should have, and you are having that conviction. That's why you just, okay, let's see what happens. Let's do the course. I guess the people who are watching it right on YouTube right now, we need to just be open. We need to just think that we are having a live master. What more we need? He is there to take care of all of us, and we just need to like be on this path with full conviction and full faith. And Gordana ma'am, it was means you have raised the devotion within all of us, I can say. And this is the biggest thing which can happen, because every devotee wants something, because some guru story or some incident, they just get more excited to work for the master. And this session was a miracle, because you have kindled devotion in so many people through this session. And thank you so much for coming. And people who are watching it right on YouTube, I just request you to share this session to maximum devotees, maximum people, so that they take bigger sankalpa. They reach to maximum people and spread this knowledge of Gurudev. And Gordana ma'am is an inspiration for so many of us. And her story will inspire a lot of people. And those who are coming in this channel for the first time, do subscribe this channel also. We are trying to bring you in this path. We just need 1 hour of your day, that's in the night, or maybe just 50 minutes. And through the stories, through teachers, through their journey, you get connected to the master. And the whole tension, stress which you accumulate throughout the day, it gets out. And Gordana ma'am, really, this session was very inspiring. And as we talk about building mental strength, when we are having such a big divine power with us, definitely we can be so courageous to bring out good things in the world. Yes. Sudhadevi, someone wants to say something. Yes, Sudhadevi.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking when you said nodding head off, that also makes some difference between Indian and other countries. First time I heard, I never know that when you said nodding head like in Indian style, then I was just thinking Is it different Indian style? We do different way or how it is?
Yes, yes. But also in Europe, there are different. So to say yes, you would nod the head up and down, just like
Yeah.
this. It would be a yes. And no is right to left. But this movement side to side, we don't have. We don't really use. But then again, inside of Europe, there is one country only that have opposites. So they're saying yes, like no, and then no, they're saying like yes. So it's very funny. Yes, different cultures, different people. We use different body language, different signs in order to say
Yeah.
something. Yes.
No, now I understood. So if at all I happen to come to Germany, then I should keep in mind that I should do like this, not. And did you
Yes.
meet Gurudev? The latest visit happened so last weekend.
Yes, I just wanted to mention and just to share. Yes, he was in Spain, in Mallorca, and also in other countries. And then I also met him in German ashram as well.
Yeah.
So the first evening when he came, and first time we saw him, after 2.5 long years. Then the first thing he said, "Oh, it's so nice to be together." We were so happy, he couldn't even speak any knowledge because we could not stop singing, like the heart was so full, we couldn't stop. So then in the end he said, "It's so nice to be together." And then he looked at us and he said, "But anyway, I have been with you every single day."
2 days he was there, I believe, because one girl from Pune, she has recently shifted to Germany. She was quite lucky enough to meet him on both the sessions she attended, and she shared all the pictures, That's why
Yes.
I asked you.
Yes, it was absolutely beautiful. In Germany, 2 full days. He also had a meditation, and for the first time in Europe, I had the opportunity to read the questions for him. So that was really, I was also just one story I want to say
Please.
to
Yes,
finish.
please.
He was coming on stage for the meditation, and I was conducting some pranayama just before his arrival. And he was coming to the stage, and I was removing the chair, and so he can go past and he can sit on the couch. And people started to give him letters and roses. You know how it is. The devotees want to give him something. So I came a little closer to him, and I offered to take the things so his hands are not full, or he doesn't have to put it. So he just it was a moment in time. He turned towards me, and he looked at me so gently, and he said, no need, it's okay, I can take care. So I was, in that moment, I felt like, and then I took some basket I brought to him so he can put the things inside. So I brought the basket, he put the things inside, and he took the basket also. So somehow, I was there to help, but he was telling me there is no need. Almost like I'm handling everything. Really, there is no need for you to do anything. And I was thinking, wow, how much humility and how much beauty in those few words that he said, that, just a few things he's receiving from devotees, probably the devotees that they were wishing for him to keep in his hands, and how beautifully, gently he told me, no need to help. So I really felt he's not only saying for that basket, for those things, but in general, really he doesn't need anything. He has just come here to give. So that was wow moment for me, really so beautiful.
Yeah, he prefers to do most of the thing of his own only. Even in the airport also, if somebody comes for help to push up, he says no only. He prefers to do everything of his own. Instead, he will ask us to give whatever problem which we have or something, to give it to him and be free and go home and sleep well. First question only he'll ask, are you happy? That is, no one will ask, That's the greatness of our Guruji, and we are really very blessed to have him. So,
Gurudev
very nice.
always, yes,
Thank you
Gurudev
very
always
much.
said, yes, Gurudev always says, give all your worries, all your tension to me. And he says, in a very gentle manner, he says, I am a garbage collector. Give all your mental garbage to me. So we are having such a divine master with us. And Gordana ma'am, you just recalled all the memories, and we felt like Gurudev is also here right now, and we are also in the same journey, watching Gurudev, and he just brought some nostalgic thoughts. Yes. And Gordana ma'am, before we conclude this session, any last message you want to give to all the people who are watching right now?
Yes, well, the only thing that I would like to say that again and again, to remember the master, and what his presence really means in our lives. And as Abhishek said, we have a living master, living, breathing, who we can go and speak to and even send an email. Like, how incredible that is. And people in the past, they have masters that are long gone, and people are reading their words, and these words are like super valuable for them in their life. But to have someone who is alive in this life together with us, that is really completely unique. Even in European culture, Jesus was alive 2,000 years ago, and still people are repeating his words and benefiting from those words that were spoken 2,000 years ago. And we have the opportunity today to be with a living master whose words might be alive and helping people in the next thousands of years. So this is like, I mean, how incredible, or can something in life be more incredible than that? That we actually have a living, breathing master who we can interact with in this life, whose presence and whose words and whose knowledge and techniques will live on for the next thousands of years. I mean, we are the most blessed people, and the only thing we can do is just remember Gurudev. We don't even have to do much. Just remember that we have a living master in our life. That is all.
Absolutely. And we are doing this session for this purpose itself. Like, in this throughout the day, just we remember Gurudev for some time, it will bring back all the energy and all the bliss. And thank you so
Abhishek,
much.
can I say something?
Yes.
Yes.
Please.
I was too in a German ashram, and I saw her singing. She was singing with whole heart. I really felt that, and she has a lot of humility, because when I saw her on the stage, she was reading the question. And 1 hour after, when I reached the kitchen of the ashram, I saw her doing the seva in the kitchen too. I was shocked, because 1 hour before she was next to Gurudev reading a question. 1 hour after, she was doing seva, and I saw her in the kitchen doing seva. I saw that kind of humility that she has got. Yeah, that I wanted to share.
Wonderful. That's something that is a seva, a volunteer should be like.
She is real disciple of Gurudev.
Definitely. Yes. And thank you so much, Gordana ma'am, for coming and inspiring all of us. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you, Abhishek. Please don't stop these sessions. I'm feeling so inspired and touched by your words and your presence. And just speaking and thinking of Gurudev really brings us so much bliss. It's so beautiful. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.